All right, welcome to the final round of Performance Racing League's Tier 1. We're at Albert Park in Melbourne for race 14 of the season. Today is hosted by me, Ace Edge, joined by Nico John in the box for comms.
Hey Ace. Hello everyone. Finale, tier one. Let's hope it's a good race.
Fortunate,
Only 12 on the grid. That's a bit disappointing.
I was about to say, unfortunately, we have a smaller size than what we're used to here in PRL, but still going to be looking at who we have in, it's going to be a heck of a tight battle at the front with the Wave, Cashew, who else is it? HT Index and Gord are all going to be fighting each other. And then,
Yeah, I haven't seen Way of the Cashew, but he's super quick, isn't he? I think he
oh yeah,
was half a lap ahead in Qatar, but ran out of fuel. So interested to see him. HT super quick. Gord, Bass, my man in the Aston Martin, super quick, and Truly as well. He won. He won a few weeks ago, so he's a returning driver, really quick. No Morris today, unfortunately, the champion. He's probably off on a beach with champagne and.
his trophy next to him, just chilling.
Yeah, exactly. So the first hot lap, I think, is going to be. Is it the Red Bull? Is it Tar Heels?
So let me bring everything up. So yeah, looks like Tar Heel is going to be our first going for a flying lap.
Tricky track, Australia, I think, Ace. Definitely not one of my better ones. A lot
It
of places you can lose the car, a lot of corners you can lose a lot of time.
That is definitely for sure. It's a tricky one because you can't run too much downforce with how they've changed and adapted the circuit to have a much longer straight in sector 2 that
Yeah,
if you go with lower downforce through here, you kind of make up the time that you would lose, you know,
yeah,
vice versa.
yeah.
So one of my
And in a race situation, that's always going to be helpful. Yeah, I mean, in this game, downforce is tricky for me. I've tended to go slightly higher. I think I'm quicker that way, but yeah.
see I
This is a tricky corner here, this chicane. Getting that right at so much time, or you lose the car, or you
yeah,
invalidate.
that curb especially because you need to ride that inside curb to make the right hander stick and it throws your rear just loose and on the outside curb on the left on exit it's no man's land a lot of days.
Yeah. And then here again, the last corner, you need a good exit, but you can't lose the car. I expect pole here will probably be about a 18.6. I think they'll get down into the high 16s. I think Tar Heels has just set a. He's reserving up, just set himself a banker. There we go, 16.8. Oof.
16-4 for
16.4.
Wave of
Shut
Cashew.
up.
We got
My.
Dumar coming up next. Oh, he's into the pits, so is that no, it's not HT,
Ferrari.
it's Share's going for
HT.
his lap, but HT, yeah, HT is about to put his lap down. That puts him P3 provisionally with 117.2. Looks like
Yeah,
Femi
I
just
expect
started
those
his
three.
lap.
I think those three are the ones to watch, aren't they? Cashew, Truly, and HT.
Yeah, that's going to be tight between the three of them. Share's invalidated, unfortunately.
I think invalidations and track limits is going to play a part in qualifying and the race with penalties. A lot
There's
of
definitely going to be a
places.
lot of penalties here. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
a lot of
Canada
places.
where it's hard to avoid it.
Oh, share over the grass. That's one way around the track. Femi's on a lap coming into sector 3. This is a tricky right hander. There's no traction on exit, I find. And yeah, taken nicely. There's a car in the way though. Get out the way.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
only
was close.
just.
Yep. That'll probably end up being a report, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's HT on his in lap. Just probably not paying enough attention.
It looks like I think Gord is probably the only other one on a lap right now. I think Cher just started his next push lap. Ooh, Gord, and he
Oh, it's invalidated.
invalidates. Ah, he was pushing for that one.
Took a lot of curb on on the first inside. I sometimes go around that because
And
if
Cher
I have to, you
invalidates
have to
too.
lift anyway. Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, Bass! I just went on
Ooh.
board with him, binned it out the final corner into the wall on the right. That's all right, mate. You can get them in the race, Bass. I believe in you.
Leave Jesper's starting his hot lap, so we'll follow along board with him. Yeah, the kind of hard part about doing comms and qualifying, in my opinion, is keeping it interesting, especially when you have a much smaller grid. Lacking 8 other drivers to follow along kind of puts a dampener on how much we're able to commentate on and fill the gaps of silence, essentially.
It's good for the drivers though. You can always find space on the track. When you've got 20,
Yes.
sometimes it's a nightmare trying to get a clean hot lap in.
It would be nice to see at some point possibly a full qualifying in one of the tiers if we have enough people or a full grid,
Yeah.
because sometimes running the full 20 and just having Q1, people are using all 3 sets of their softs.
Yeah.
Um, Fix that. That is kind of odd that there is no car sound.
Sometimes just go into the pause menu and come back out and the sound comes back.
Yep.
Gesture to the line
Now it's loud.
with
I'm gonna have to
a
edit that.
26.
uh,
Oh, Justin. Oh no. Bad
there we
start of
go.
Aston Martin.
It
Both
should be a little
crashed
more
out in
manageable.
quali.
So,
Deary me.
it's like our 2 people that are on hot laps, both of the Haas and the Alpha Tauri have both invalidated, unfortunately. So who is
I think Vermeer's
next?
about to start again. There's a tyre on the track. I think that's from Justin. Into turn one. Brake about 100. Fourth gear, maybe fifth, depending if you've got enough. Vermeer's in fifth. Nice. Open the DRS. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Brake about 100. Third. Yeah. Get wide to sling it back in. There's a glitch here. If you go off there, you get like 5 warnings or something. There's some
They still
problems
haven't
with track
patched that.
limits. I had that problem 6 weeks ago, unless it's been
Wow.
fixed since then.
Yeah,
So that could be an issue in the game.
I had that happen back in September. So that's crazy that it's
Yeah.
still in the game for this long. But at the same point, it
It's
is
not surprising,
majority owned
is
by
it?
EA now, so you can't ask
There
for
we go.
much.
Keeps it in 7th, but just a bit late on the gas there. He had to lift to avoid invalidating, I think, which will have cost him probably 3 or 4 tenths. Then keep it tidy through sector 3. Third, shifting up to 4. Yeah, use all the track, but don't invalidate to the line.
Goes
19.3.
P7.
I think Demur can go quicker than that. It's quite a gap, isn't it? It's quite spread.
I
Four
think a lot of
tenths,
people
four tenths,
are
5 tenths.
holding back as well to make sure they have a lap down.
I'd certainly keep hold of a set of fresh softs at
As
Australia.
Femi goes 5th with a 1:18.1. So who's next across the line? Gord goes, then replaces Femi in 5th. I believe that's then Cher across. Oh, who was that?
Shares in
HT
sector
across the
3.
line next. Puts himself P2 above Truly, which I
Or two
believe.
1,000ths between them.
Let's see if Truly can clap back. Little swirly on exit there. Oh, I've just realized that he was on his out.
And Share goes P5 with a
With a
17.9.
179. Yep. You got a
Big
heck
lap.
of a toe from Truly there down the main straight.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wonder why he stopped his push lap here. Wonder if he realized he had too much fuel.
Yeah, Truly's a ball. Maybe it's the car in front. He doesn't think he's going to get a clean run. Or he wanted to do 2 outlaps, yeah.
Could be it. Definitely could be it.
Gord's 3/4 of a second slower. Maybe going again. No, into the pits.
Looks like I think HT coming into the pits.
We've got Huijskram in the Alfa Romeo on a lap. He's 3/10 up from sector 1. Coming into the fast chicane, 9:10. Down to 6. Yeah, that's kind of the line always
Invalidates.
invalidated. That's kind of the line I take as well, going round that first corner. Maybe it's not the best, I'm not sure. Maybe I'd rather lose a tenth every time than risk skinning it.
See, I personally attack that corner like you would attack the beginning of Sector 3 at Jeddah. And that's how I kind of keep the rear traction is, you know, sticking as wide as possible and taking a very sharp inside line. But as we jump to Truly here as he starts his lap. So you watch the DRS slam shut as he goes into braking. Keeps it nice and tidy through the chicane here, keeping his rear nice and stable. Just pushing the power, keeping it within millimeters of track limits there.
I think that's my trickiest corner, that right. It's a bit hard to get that line and maintain the speed.
Staying very inside here for as much speed as possible. Let's see how he carries the line through this next part. Purple sector 2. And he holds it.
Nice, very nice.
Ooh, that was really close.
It's a tricky exit, definitely.
He is just nailing every bit, getting as much as he can out of every track limit. Oh! That looked like that definitely could have been a challenge for pole, but he said, I'm going into the pits rather than the wall.
That was a commentator's curse and a half. Nailing every corner. Oh no. And they're on the pits. Time for one last run.
Currently nobody out on track, so not much to talk about besides, I'd say, possibly some race predictions here.
It looks like there's 2 groups, doesn't there? 1, 2, 3 who are a second clear, and then, you know,
kind of the rest of the pack, yeah.
Pass down. I think it could be 2 sort of separate races. It'd be interesting to see what Truly's lap would have been then. That looked on the limits, didn't it?
I think you and me both about 5 separate times were thinking he was about to invalidate, and just hats off to Truly from a outside perspective watching that. That was just extracting the most out of your car, getting within not even inches, just millimeters, centimeters of invalidating there, and just truly a sight to behold, pun not intended.
Truly.
As Gord is our first man out on an outlap here, our Tier 2 Hungary or not Tier 2, our midweek Hungary winner here this past week.
Super quick. He was tier 1, which was the second tier last season.
I raced against him in a former league called ZOR that I met a lot of these guys like Northern Canuck, Venny. We all met. We all met there, and at the time I was tier 1 pace before I stopped racing. And took a hiatus as Gord unfortunately invalidates on his outlap, as it doesn't matter much. And Gord was the tier below me at the time. And then I come back to a new game a couple months into a cycle, and he's got me by almost 2 seconds.
Yeah, no,
So
he's
just
one of
a
the most
massive
improved in
improvement.
PRL
Yep.
in 12 months. It's amazing. Fair play to him. As he starts his lap. Nicely. DRS.
Ooh, a little squirrely on the
Bit,
power there.
Snap, yeah. But keeps. I don't think he lost too much time. This is a tricky one. Yeah, sometimes I take some grass on the right as well. Does it in six. Quick. DRS. I always forget this DRS line. It's an annoying one. And then into the fast left, right.
He's up almost 3/10 currently.
It's going to be a good lap. Safely through there.
Looks like he's trying to knock Bass down a step here and take P4. Unfortunately, P3's looking just a little out of reach with the gap he had in hand as he... I've got to stop talking. I am just ruining their laps.
Unfortunate, man. That was, yeah, it's an easy corner to do it.
Oh, as Jesper spins on his push lap. I believe that's Dumar who's going to pass him, still pushing. Not even a 10th up, 400's improved and pushing hard. I believe he is our next one who is on a push lap here. He's pushing very... he invalidated. Yeah.
Hey, they're seeing a lot of this.
Let's see, who's next on our...
Jesper's invalidated, it's a Ferrari.
Shares invalidated as well.
Shares invalidated, the Alpha of
Yep.
Fan. Oh,
Ooh.
Lucky to not invalidate. Wow.
DRS slamming shut as he's hard onto the braking here.
And then I think we should probably jump on with Truly. I don't think Cashew and HT came back out, did they?
It does not look like it, no. We'll sit on board here and see where the Alpha puts himself. Stays P11, unfortunately. Tar Heel crosses the line next. It's going to put him P7. Femi after.
Nice.
Remains P8.
And here's Truly.
Last
DRS
one.
open.
P2 takes over from HT Index with a 1:16.6.
Wow. I mean, those 3 times are...
Wow, it actually gave Dumar one last chance to push here. So let's hop on board and see if he can improve. He, the last couple times we've watched him, he's definitely been holding it back and making sure he stays within track limits. So let's see how much he pushes through here.
That'll hurt him on the straight, no battery.
That is my personal worst turn there. That right-hander I always lose. As he, I believe, remains P10. Yep.
So, yeah.
A very interesting qualifying there towards the end with the Mercedes of Truly coming back and throwing down one heck of a lap to take P2. But the Wave of Cashew just looking dominant all qualifying session, taking a pole lap by almost 2/10. And I believe it was 2012 in Singapore that Seb didn't come out for his second Q2 or Q3 run and still had pole. So
in the bag. Yeah.
Kind of reminiscent of dominant Vettel performance here from the Canadian and the McLaren. But Truly McQueen, P2, HT Index in the Ferrari, P3, GK Bass with an unfortunate wreck earlier in the session left him at P4 and Share with P5. Get to the rest when we get here. You got a prediction for who you think's gonna win, Nico?
I mean, it's hard to look past Way of the Cashew, isn't it? He seems pretty dominant. I'd be interested. I mean, just to watch him race, watch him drive. So quick. HT and Truly, I think, will push him closer. Those three look, I mean, they look a class apart, don't they? They're a second ahead of fourth, so I think the winner will come from that group.
But to pick back up on the order where I left off, Scherer in the Ferrari, which means both Ferraris start P5, which is good for. I don't. Let me check the standings because I don't know if their constructors is wrapped up. I know I know Morris wrapped up the drivers.
Yeah, I think Alpine have won.
Yep, they've won both. There's kind of
Jesse's
yeah.
not here either. Jesse's with Morris on the
So
beach with
yep,
their
Alpine just
constructors trophy.
relaxing for the weekend. But as the remaining fight continues, that's good for Ferrari and the constructors to have both cars in the top five. Gord Sauce, P6 in the AlphaTauri, both Red Bulls following each other in seventh and eighth with Tar Heel and Femi. Jesper, an unfortunate qualifying in P9. He definitely had a little more in his lap and just never quite got to it. Damar in the AlphaTauri, also P10. Uh, how have you been pronouncing that? I have yet to try. In the
Who?
Alfa Romeo.
Oh, Heiskran.
Heiskren. Okay.
Yeah,
He
I don't
is
know if that's
P11.
I don't know if that's right. Yeah. I was
And
just looking at the constructors. There's a battle for third. Aston Martin, Ferrari, and Red Bull are all just separated by 30 points.
okay.
So
This
there's a
is the fight for
little mini
P3
battle in
here.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, searching for narrative.
But I'm gonna go ahead and get off the race director so nobody can see what everyone else is starting on. And give a quick second to take a smoke, everyone get their strategies and tire pressures and all that. And we will catch you when the five lights are starting to go out. And looks like that's five red lights and we are away. Wave of Cashew looking like he just took a dominant start there. See if we can get a little more of the action in the back here.
Looks pretty clean through turn one.
Oh yeah, everything's looking pretty
Gord
tight.
and Tar Heels side by side. Gord gets past.
Jesper gets past Femi into eighth.
Yeah.
Already kind of a couple gaps settling in the field here.
So just it looks like Way of the Cashews on the softs, Truly, HT and Bass behind on mediums, then Share and Gord behind that on hards. So Way of the Cashew taking a different strategy to his two other rivals. He's got to try and break the DRS. He's got 2 laps because there's what 1, 2, 3, 4 main straight, turn 3. Yeah, there's 4 DRS zones, so unless you get out of it... Oh, he's done a second already. Wow.
We have
Unless you
three
get out of
runners on the softs right now. The Way of the Cashew, Tar Heel, and Dumar. Everybody else, aside from Cher and Gord, are on the medium tires. Cher and Gord are the only two on the hard compound right now. So
I'd
kind of no
say...
surprise that Cashew's pulling away just a little bit here, but It's kind of showing that there's no real pace advantage on the softs right now, with how the mediums are just kind of sticking within right here.
Yeah, they're good.
Kind of
Like I
a
said, it's so important before lap 3 to stay within that second, or else he's gone.
That is for sure. And Cher doing a good job here to hold back the rest of the pack. Kind of falling a little bit away from Bass here, but as we can expect, him being the first of the two runners on the hards, it's not going to be easy this early in the race. As
Ooh,
Gord gets
Gord had to back
really
out.
close there. As there seems to be a little bit of chaos developing back here.
Yeah, well, you've got Tar Heels on softs, who's going to be desperate to get past. I think all the strategies basically work here. Soft medium's probably possible. Medium hard, soft hard. Although I think it's a bit of a safety car track as well with the walls. There's usually one or two. Way of the Cashew's broken a second.
Almost a second and a half now, but HT
Yeah.
Index staying on the back of Truly here. And Bass being no slouch, using his mediums with the clean air at that, to
Go on,
catch up
Bass.
to HT and Truly here. Trying to give Aston Martin their P3 constructors fight here.
Let's go, Bass. Gord's got the DRS on share. I don't think he's going to know too far back this time, but I think he'll have a go here.
As three cars battling here, and Tar Heel just stays ahead of Jesper. Everyone has DRS here. Wow. This is a sight to watch.
Gord squeezes past share. Yeah, the midfield is carnage.
This is just, from Jesper back, this is just one
Yeah.
heck of a fight, as Dumar, our first guy to get a penalty today. It's like Cher's going to make the move back and just doesn't have it yet. Has to drop back behind Gord.
Yeah, Femi got right up alongside Jesper, but
Yeah, Jesper's falling back off of the Tar Heel a little bit. Truly with the 3-second penalty is falling off of the wave of Cashew here, and HT not giving him anywhere to breathe.
He's going to go past the DRS.
On the inside before the chicane gets the move done.
Truly lets him through. I think these two's best plan is not to fight, work together, and see if they can come out on their fresh softs close enough to Cashew to give him a race.
Bass falling back just a little bit, but maintaining where he needs to be in P4 to hold some solid points here, as there's a yellow flag, as that appears to be Justin with no wing. I wonder what happened there. Sorry we missed that.
Oh, Justin.
I think that might have possibly been him and Heiskran getting into it, because Dumar was P11 beforehand, I believe. Or P12. Femi has also gotten past Jesper to put Red Bull where they started in 7th and 8th. Gord has broken away from Cher and is making his way towards Bass now.
Yeah, the tyres will start to come to him. Truly right on the back of HT. I think these two are just going to swap places with the DRS as and when. Yeah. I think it's probably sensible. I know everyone's instinct is to fight. But if you want to win this race, that's what I think they have to do.
Yeah, because they just gained a lot of time on Cashew there, using the DRS to help each other.
Yeah. Oh, Femi and Jesper. I just caught the end of that. There was contact and Femi went round. It was just the end of it. I don't know what happened.
Very unfortunate for Femi.
He was having a good race. And Heiskrans is right on the gearbox with Demur. Demur won't get the DRS, so... Oh, a little wobble on exit, though. Might cost him. He's got a full battery. And side by side into turn one. Heiskrans backs out. Nice driver.
As we go back up to your podium fight here. I think you're definitely 100% right here because Truly's not trying to fight and actually trying to give way to HT here through there
Yeah.
before they come up to it. And they are just gaining time on Cashew here, so I wonder if the softs are maybe just a little too much of a gamble here. Thinking just...
Well, I think for me, the softs are about 5% a lap. So he's coming up to have completed 6 laps. That's 30%. Yeah, his tire. I mean, I think the mediums will be quicker tire now.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is their opportunity to try and claw him back in over the next. Because he's probably going to have to. He's probably going to have to do another 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, he's going to want to go to lap 11 or 12 and then probably run the hards the rest of the way.
So I think they need to make these 6 laps count. And you don't do that by going side by side, however fun that is, and we love the side by side racing. These two have just got to try and
use each other like they were to get back up, because they were within 1.3 just a mere 2 laps ago and have fallen back to 2 seconds behind. The rest of the field is also kind of starting to spread out a little bit with only
Tar Heels chasing Cher.
And Dumar chasing Heiskrans.
Yeah. Here comes Tar Heels. He's going for it.
Looks like he's lining up the move on the outside and gets it done before the braking. And keeps DRS, to maintain and keep that 6th position over Cher. Heiskrans with a 3-second penalty now.
I wonder if Truly got a one of those glitches at turn 5 or 6. It just seemed unlikely that he'd have a 3-second penalty so soon. Let's go to the race director.
Yeah, that looks about right. He got 2 warnings in the same lap, on lap 4.
Could be. Who knows? We'll see. If it's in doubt, I'm sure it'll be in the steward's office and they can sort it out. So Cher's still chasing Tar Heels for P6. Cashew's growing that gap, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got on 0.5 seconds on old softs.
And HT's just not staying in the gap as much as he was earlier to continuously just pass like they were. They've kind of lost their slingshot strategy that was working so well for them just a couple laps ago, and the unfortunate part about not having open comms in our lobbies is not talking to everybody and kind of being very individualized here. And yes, Cher gets the move done.
Just with the DRS. So those softs are holding up, aren't they? I mean, Tar Heels and Demura. No,
Tar Heel goes into pit.
That's early. I wonder
see if Dumar follows. Nope.
Or hards, mediums, yeah. 20 laps on the mediums is a big ask. I think he's 2-stopping or hoping for a safety car, which isn't unreasonable.
Unreasonable. It's not unreasonable for sure, but in my opinion, a little too much of a gamble with just 12 drivers on the grid.
Yeah. No, you're right. With just 12, there's not that much wheel-to-wheel stuff going on, is there?
Well, not only that, it's because with there being less people, it's a lot easier for the pack to spread out. And when the
Yeah.
pack spreads out, like you're saying, there's not as much wheel to wheel, there's not nearly as much fighting, and a lot less chance for any kind of entertainment and or carnage.
We just want the carnage,
As
don't we, Ace? Let's be
HT goes a
honest.
little wide there,
And
now
he's going to pull
falls
out the
out of
DRS.
DRS, yeah, keeping it well within for what was the better part of 10 laps there.
He got lucky. He'd already passed the detection line, so he's going to get it twice, and he'll be back in. Yeah, he's fine.
Did That was a lot of time he made up on that straight. I wonder if Truly is
Oh,
having
no
an
worries.
issue. Could definitely be
Yeah,
a
Cashew's
difference
put
of wing.
another. Cashew's put on another second almost as well.
Oh, as Heiskrang gets past Dumar. Oh, and spins it and loses just his end plate. Luckily not his whole wing, but he's still more than likely going to have to box and replace that anyways as Femi gets through to take P9. Gord just took a 3-second as well, so that now puts... And Heiskrang takes another 3-second. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and look at our penalties. Truly with 3, Gord with 3, Sher with 3, Dumar with 3, and Heiskrang with 6 so far. And position changes, our biggest winners so far are Jesper and Dumar gaining 2 places each. Gord not doing so bad himself, gaining a position. And unfortunately, Tar Heels being our biggest
Well, he's
struggler right
pitted.
now with 3.
He's
But
the only
it's
one that's pitted, though.
Yep, he's also on
Oh, him and
a
Jesper.
much different strategy, trying to see what's going to work best for him in T2 today.
Yeah. He's never afraid of doing the alternate strategy, Tar Heels, that's for sure.
See, I want to. You guys just never give me a choice to. I wanted to do the hard to soft so bad last week at Qatar, but
Yeah.
everyone else wanted to go medium hard, so I was going to be risking way too much going long on those hards and then trying to push back through.
Oh, man. I don't want to talk about Qatar. I was nicely set on those hards after that safety car with you, and then I got damage out of pit.
I went
Yeah.
back and watched. That one was kind of, but
I
not
think we were
kind
going to
of
have a
my
good
fault.
race.
Because I pushed who was, I think that was Salad
Salad.
Tosser. Yeah, we didn't make contact, but I was just a little too late on the brakes, and he went a little
He had
more
to
on the
avoid you.
curb. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know.
And then I watched, and I was like, no, there goes my country. I was like, there goes the competition here.
Yeah.
I
These things
enjoy the
happen.
races so much more when I'm having a DRS battle with someone. I don't like pulling a gap. I like having that, like how HT and
Yeah.
Truly have been, this staying within half a second the whole time. You make a hair of a mistake, and they are right there to push you past your gearbox.
Yeah, no, exactly. Here for the good times. So still HT and Truly, Jesper and Tar Heels as Demur pulls the trigger on his softs. Also onto mediums and a wing change. He must have got damage. Tap tap. 4 seconds at the front. Way of the cashew. Have you raced him before?
Yeah. He's in my Saturday league as well. He is
Yeah.
just one
And
heck
he's
of a
super
driver.
quick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's into the box. Lap 11. And he might put mediums on now and try and get to the end.
And Truly, oh no!
I
Truly
missed
into
it.
the wall in the pits, and we're unfortunately DNFs from P2.
Virtual. And a lot of
Oh,
people jump
that
in.
has to be heartbreaking.
Everyone pits. In the
Yeah, that's
yellow.
got to be a pit
Makes
for
sense.
everybody.
So the hards go to mediums and the mediums go to hards. Because softs won't get there.
I wonder if Tar Heel's gonna stay out. Yep, Tar Heel stays out.
And he'll get some positions. He'll get past Jesper. Yeah,
Tar Heel gets up to P5.
Oh, I missed that. I mean, that's it. I've done that before. A few different places, binning it on pit entrance. Gutted for Trudy McQueen.
Very unfortunate for his races. He was having a very strong showing with HT Index here to kind of entertain us from the
Yeah.
in the very Red Bull style dominant lead from Way of a Cashew here.
Oh,
With Cher getting a drive through from VSC.
Ouch. It's so sensitive. It says it's
HT
ending,
closing
and
a
that's it.
massive gap there, going from looks like it closed just about 1.1 seconds there, maybe a little more from that VSC restart, which is just so crucial to time your delta just right with that.
Yeah. So it's easy to get a penalty. It just suddenly says, hey, safety car's ending. And you're like, shit.
Yeah, some tracks it's kind of insane in my opinion how rapidly they decide to slow the delta down because it's a lot more than what you would expect and what I personally would deem safe compared to what we watch in IRL racing.
Yeah. And Cher comes in, that'll be to serve his drive through. Ah, what a shame.
Having such a
Probably
good
needs another
race
safety
there.
car now. So
As
the top
Cashew
three, I
is,
think, might be the top three as
yeah,
is. I think the way the Cashew is going to drive away, and I think HT will keep Bass at bay.
I think you definitely called it right earlier that HT has a much lower wing set than everyone else is running as he gets a 3 second here, but he is almost within DRS of Cashew here.
Yeah. And he's got, I mean, I won't talk about the battery situation, but he could push harder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and then
I
Cashew
tried
makes
not
up
to look at the ERS just in case.
Cashew makes up half a second though, going through that sort of sector one squiggly bit,
Having
and
more
then HT.
downforce through here.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. I think so. I'm not sure.
It's definitely looking like that that's kind of what was holding them back before. Is Truly was also running a more high downforce setup like Cashew is, and HT kind of needed the clean air to be able to push. But I think Cashew might have also been recharging here as he sets purple sector 1
Yeah.
and is starting to
Quick.
yeah, starting to gap HT on the straight here.
So what sort of wings are you running, Ace? You gonna tell the millions watching?
I have actually yet to get a single lap of practice. Before I
Okay.
joined, I was finishing up a career mode I've been doing for the past couple weeks, and me and Max won drivers and constructors by 400 points.
GG's.
We won the constructors with like 10 races to go. Just
Wow.
1-2 to every race. Um,
Oh, what was it you were saying about you don't like to just drive away, but you like the wheel-to-wheel battle?
Yeah, I had it on, I want to say 100 AI and gradually worked it up to 110 by Abu Dhabi
Oh
and ran
wow,
the full course of a season.
good stuff. I haven't done much career for a long time.
I like the two-player career a lot more. It's definitely a lot more fun to develop against somebody rather than just developing against the AIs, but being able to kind of cause some crazy driver market moves is also kind of fun because I started my season and this is my second season I ran in it, and I started my last season in AlphaTauri, and within half the season got Checo booted. And then yeah, it's got some cool aspects to it, but like I was saying, when you have that second person, the driver moves are a lot more radical because that's two people who then lost their spot, and
Oh,
if you decide to
we've
we have a
lost Hyper.
retirement. Is that also in the? I think that was I
As in
think
the
he retired in
pits.
the pits. Yeah.
I thought I saw a safety car. Got all excited. The field is pretty spread out.
Yeah, there's not much going on or much to report here with
Everyone's
13 laps left to go.
and everyone's tyres should get to the end as well, so we're not going to have a.
I think Tar Heel may be the only questionable
Yeah,
here in a
yeah,
couple
no,
laps
you're right. You're right.
because Jesper behind is on the hards and he's within 2.5 and closing. So we'll keep an eye on how Jesper manages this here.
Gord's made a bit of time up on Bass, but you'd expect that with the tyres at the moment. But
Yeah.
still a big gap. Cashew's checked out. He's gone.
It's kind of
See ya.
just unfortunate for Tier 1 to, just a little over halfway past the race and no one's really racing.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I've noticed in any league racing, regardless of F1, Assetto Corsa, Gran Turismo, it doesn't matter where you go. People will sign up with, you can get a full grid easy, but when people realize that if they're a back marker or if they're not going to be winning or fighting for anything, they just stop showing up. They go and find somewhere else to go instead of, trying to either stick through and get better, let everyone know, like, hey, I'm going to be giving my seat up to someone else.
Yeah.
Those seats are held for weeks on weeks, and then when they're finally dropped, the reserves who had that interest because their seats weren't open, it's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
constant cycle of it because of people who don't have courtesy and respect towards the others who put the time and dedication
Wow. Testify.
in.
Preach. No, I agree. I agree completely. That was a great run, Ace. Well done. Yeah, I think Tier 1's been pretty good. I mean, I just saw in the Discord, I think there's various people with just one-off reasons were missing today, but Tier 1, Tier 2's been good. Midweek's, I think, been very good, so.
Yeah, and I think the unfortunate part is I think Tier 2 is about to get picked to pieces here in the next coming weeks.
Yeah,
Because
we'll see.
we know we're
We'll
unfortunately
see.
losing either you or Luke. How the ever-loving fuck did you get in the cabinets? Don't you meow at me. You're not supposed to be up here. How the fuck? Like, not just... Like, my cabinets are my head height, and I'm about 5'10", 5'11". She was above that, so she's about 6 foot plus in the air in our cabinets. You are too chunky of a cat to do that. This makes no sense.
It's a cat. I was trying to work out what was up there.
Definitely not a dog. Oh, God.
Femi gets another 3. How are the penalties are racking up, aren't they?
Let me check.
9 for Cher, 3 for HT, 3 for Gord, 3 for Demur, 3 for Justin. Cher
Craig
catching
goes,
Femi?
WTF, LOL, I just joined the live feed and the first thing I hear is a meow. Yep. Unfortunately, felines don't like to listen or follow rules. But as we check in on the rest of the field and the tires here, we
We've
got
got
Wave
a
of
bit of admin
Cashew.
versus admin, Cher versus Femi. Cher's got the time penalties, but I think these two will want to race hard to the end.
And as it stands right now, I believe Ferrari is taking P3 in the Tier 1 Constructors, with HT in third and Cher in eighth, both in front of not only the Red Bulls, but both Aston
The Aston
Martins.
Martins, yeah. Come on, Bass. Go on, Jasper. So, Cher, if you can get a good exit here, might have a go. Or once the tyres get done, it's so tricky getting traction out of there. The car just wants to veer off into the wall on the right at every opportunity.
As Jesper is now within DRS of Tar Heel. See how he approaches and makes this.
Ooh. Yeah, Tar Heel's tyres will be starting to just starting to hurt. DRS open. And you'll line it up for the next straight. Yeah, gets a better line, better run, better grip. DRS, DRS. Job done. Fish wash. Tar Heels is going to fight him. No. With the DRS. Oh, Gord
Gord with
gets another 3
another
seconds. Tut, tut, tut. Oh, Jesper had a wiggle on exit.
We'll keep the penalties up. See if any big losses here. Looks like Dumar is going to get share at the moment based off of penalties. That's about it.
Interesting. Yeah, big gaps at the front. Tar Heels, one's P5. Him and Jesper neither have penalties, so it's an on-track fight. Unfortunately, Tar Heels is probably gonna either limp those tyres to the end or have to pit. And Cher's still chasing his longtime buddy Femi, but nothing doing.
Looks like he got within DRS here. Oh, Gord with a
Gordy.
5-second.
I wonder if he's putting on softs just for a fastest lap. No, he had damage.
So that
And
might have
Jesper
just
will get
spiced this
past.
up a little bit, putting Jesper P4 here.
Tar Heels. So Jesper and Gord last season had a massive tussle for the tier, as was tier 1 championship, second level, which Jesper won. Gord had a few DNFs at the beginning of the season, but was so strong in the second half. But bit of history between those two. Hopefully there'll be some hard scrapping. And Cher's right on the back of Femi now. Very smooth through there.
As Cashew gets his first penalty of the race.
And through Cher goes. Femi just had to back out a little bit on the exit.
And now we go back to the battle for P4 with Jesper and Tar Heels here. Tar Heels on 4 lap older mediums and still being able to manage and hold on to this DRS gap with Jesper.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I mean, the 4 DRS zones makes it easier. Truly has left... Oh, sorry.
I saw that. I was about to say the same thing, and I was like, wait a minute. He's just been watching this whole time. Yeah, but imagine if he's been in shock from the pit lane DNF all the way up until this point.
Yeah, he's been stood in the corner, having a quiet word with himself.
That I would be doing the same thing, just The classic Adventure Time thing where go sit in the corner and think about the life decisions you've made.
Exactly.
Is Tar Heel gonna be able to get a move done going into the braking zone here? The DRS is open.
He's
Looks
obviously
for it
taking
and
those mediums all the way.
just got 5 more laps to go.
19, 20 laps, yeah. The tyre whisperer. Well, no safety car and one VSC.
Yeah,
Impressive
very
stuff. Pretty clean.
it's very clean, but not bad. They're very bored with it at the same time. You
Hasn't been
know,
classic.
Cashew's definitely not going to be complaining about it, but HT and Bass have probably been praying for a safety car all race long here.
Uh,
As Gord is just massively starting to catch up to these two here.
yeah, the
What
tyre
was
delta will
a
be huge.
almost 6 second gap when he came out of the pits is now almost within DRS.
He's flying. Didn't get it this time, but he will next. No, it's a double detection, isn't it? I think this DRS zone coming up now is from the same detection point as the previous one, yeah?
Yes, it is, because he
Yeah.
did not get DRS for this straight
Yeah.
either. So we're going to
I
keep an
think
eye
that.
here on Tar Heel.
What's his penalty, though? Oh, Gord's got
Penalty.
11 seconds. Oh, God.
Ooh, yeah.
He'll do well to make 11 seconds on them both in 4 laps. Oh, what an exit. Past Tar Heels. Oh, they're all struggling. Tar Heels and Jesper. God tried to go around the outside, switches back. Jesper leaves just enough room. Oh, careful. Oh, Gord back. Well done. That could have ended very badly for both of them. Oh, I didn't know. Gord with the DRS should get the move past Jesper. Jesper's going to fight it into the corner.
And Gord gets it done.
So much more grip. There's just nothing he could do.
But with 11 seconds, I'm not surprised that Jesper didn't fight all too hard to make sure he didn't lose too much time to Tar Heels.
Yeah, no need. Oof. Bass, Jesper, Tar Heels take a bow. The only three that haven't got a penalty yet. Impressive stuff.
For sure, for sure. They have definitely been, Bass especially, just having himself one hell of a quiet, clean race here in P3 as Dumar's out. Dumar is
He's
out,
gonna
and that
get,
is not a retirement in the pits, folks.
but we're too late for a safety car, I think.
Yep.
Shares boxed for softs. Why not?
But as I was saying, Bass has just had himself a nice quiet race, started P4, stayed consistent, and pulling home a
Yeah.
podium to finish off the season
A
is
lonely podium. Just GG's. I don't think
with
he's seen
this.
a car, has he, for 15 laps?
No, I think he occasionally sees HT in front of him, but as he comes around the corner, HT goes around the next, so it's
Uh,
a very brief view of that Ferrari rear wing. Um, but yeah, it's our closest battle here is as it's been for almost the past 10 laps
yeah.
is between Tar Heel and Jesper just not wanting to leave each other alone. Tar Heel not giving Jesper anywhere to run, saying, I will stay in your rear view. And wanting to get that move done to take the overall P5 finish in T1.
Oh,
As
HT.
HT puts on another 3-second.
He can't get, no, it's 6. Yeah, one more and Bass could be there, but
Depends on if Bass has any, if he's been saving battery. If he's got enough to push for a hot lap, he might be able to keep that, but it's looking like he might be falling off just a little bit. As Femi picks up another 3 to put him, Justin, and Cher all on level playing field with 9 seconds apiece. On board with Tar Heel here. See if he can get the move done after the chicane. As Jesper just gets a better exit, unfortunately.
yeah.
Tar Heel taking just a little too much curb on entry and exit there. Kind of unset, yep.
Yeah.
Massively unsettled the car to have no traction, having to lift off a lot more. But even with that, he still stayed within DRS, having a very
Clean, consistent race.
Yeah.
Classic Tar Heels. Great driver.
Gord, Craig making the prediction that Gord will pull the 11 seconds, with Gord already at 5.5 seconds with just a little over a lap and 2/3 to go.
5 sectors to make up 5.5 seconds.
This is asking a lot, yeah.
I don't think so.
And he's almost out of battery here, as you can see on his steering wheel. He's about, looks like 15, 16, it's like 20s maybe.
Unless Tar Heels, he's just struggling to keep up a bit now.
I was about to say, unless Tar Heel battles Jesper, yeah, there's no real way Gord's about to pull all that much. Yeah, he's pulled about half a second in that next third of a lap, but I don't think that he's going to be on pace enough, as he's starting to correct me and put a whole second that lap. But yeah, I'm still with you. That's not going to be enough unless Jesper puts a massive foot wrong and takes Tar Heel with him.
As Cashew enters sector 3, he's led start to finish.
No real challenge, just
soft medium, yeah.
Pushing his way, having a very Vettel.
Gets to 3 seconds.
He's got a very Vettel reminiscent style of dominance this race, as he comes around the final corner to win round 14 in the final race of Tier 1 season with a dominant victory. HT Index comes home second to what I personally think is sealing P3 in the constructors for Ferrari.
I think you're right.
Bass with a heck of a drive all on his own here, on his lonesome, finishing out his lap with only one penalty. Went 25, I think it was 25, 26 laps without getting it. Just a heck of a drive from him.
Yeah.
As he comes home P3 to finish off our our podium position and pull off the fastest lap while he's at it. Gord retires from the race, giving Jesper P4, Tar Heel P5. And that is going to leave, I believe, the rest of the grid to finish as is as well, with Femi finishing P6, Cher finishing P8, and Justin finishing P9. Or P8. Cher P7, everyone moving up a position from what I said, apparently.
Yeah, because Gord came last, didn't he? Wow, well, yeah, shame the grid was a little sparse, but there's some good racing.
Driver of the day, the Haas, Power Jesper. And what might be, as he's hinted at a lot this season, his final PRL race, either for indefinitely or just taking a season break. But hopefully that's not the case and we see him for next season as well.
So there we are, our final order. Cashew 1, HT Index 2, and Bass 3 on the podium. Jesper, Tar Heels, Femi, Cher, Justin. Gord finishes ninth, and then Demur, Heiscran, and Truly are DNFs. What a race, Ace.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot more interesting those first couple laps than what it finished off to be, but yeah, it's showing that tier 2 is not going to be a easy race for any of us as getting out of DRS looked like it was a very big problem in those first stages of everybody's stints when they got onto fresh tires.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you on track in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I
That
won't wish you
concludes
good luck because I don't want to tell lies.
good luck to you as well. But that
All right.
concludes our final stream of the season for Tier 1. I forget what
Season
season.
9.
Yep, Season 9. This concludes Season 9, Tier 1, and we hope to catch all of you for Tier 2 and for next season.